So I am so glad today I get to hang out with the Sonia George, who is going to be receiving today our Tutorpreneur Hero Award.
Thank you.
So excited that you are here today and able to receive this award. You've worked so hard with building your business, and it's really been fun to join you as you've been going through this process. I remember in January, it was just January. I can't believe it was only January. I remember you emailing me in LinkedIn, and you were like, hey, just connecting with other tutors. And I was like, hey, I happen to be connected to like over 2,000 of them. Come join me over in Facebook. And you're like, I don't even have a Facebook account. Maybe I'll start one.
Right, exactly.
So it's pretty cool just to see your business bloom in all of that. So you have My Teach Tutoring. That's your tutoring business. Mm-hmm. And how did you decide to start tutoring online?
I think it just it wasn't really something I planned. I think mostly it was probably because of your group and I saw, how it could work and everything. But before that, I didn't even know that I could even be a possibility. I only was thinking of, okay, I could just tutor people in person that live in my area.
Sure.
It opened up all these possibilities. And because before, I had looked into it, but I didn't know how to get started. And I was like, well, what kind of video do I use? Or what kind of microphone do I use? And it just seemed too overwhelming at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had all the reasons. So what helped you then be able to kind of get over some of that and really get this thing going?
I think that being a part of the group was a huge aspect of it, because I'm sure other members of the group have noticed that I ask a lot of questions or I have polls, and I'm just constantly researching, what tools are the best tools. And then I kind of figured out how to set everything up and got started. I just
That's awesome.
Jump into things. I don't do too much research. I just jump in, see how things work, and adjust from there. So.
Yeah, and you became a member of our Insider Secrets Club as well. And,
right.
Exactly. You've been huge in when it comes to helping other online tutors as well. It's not like you're just asking questions, but really when other tutors have questions, you're boom, right there. There's a response from Sonia George, who's willing to contribute and help out. And it's so cool because that's what this entire community is all about. So it's really awesome having you as a part of it and getting to see that side of you as well. So it's been a lot of fun. So now tell us about your experiences before you ever started tutoring.
Okay, well, I started with Teach for America. That's how I first got into teaching, because I didn't have a teaching degree. And then I did that. And at that point I was like, I feel like I'm not really prepared to be in the classroom. So I went back for my master's in special education, became a certified teacher. After that, I was, I had been working in the inner city through Teach for America. And then after getting my degree, I was working as an aide in just a nicer suburb. And I still felt like a lot of the issues were the same, regardless of the income level. And I wanted to do more one-on-one, and I wanted to have my own freedom and be able to be creative and do the things that I wanted to do. So that's kind of how I got into the tutoring in the first place.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like it's been quite the journey for you. And you went through the whole process of, getting certified and helping out. Now, how did you decide on your ideal client and who it was that you wanted to help on out?
So that was kind of challenging for me. As soon as I signed up for your Insider Secrets Club, the following morning, I was already watching all of your videos on your portal and trying to figure out what my ideal client was. Initially, I was thinking maybe middle school, high school girl that maybe has some sort of attention and learning difficulties. And I just sort of adjusted from there based on the kind of parents that were contacting me. So at this point, it's mostly middle school students that have some sort of learning or attention difficulty. And I also have some elementary students as well.
Awesome. And that is kind of the way it goes. You kind of start playing with it a little bit, seeing if you can find and connect and help the particular audience that you're trying to do that. And you decided to start connecting with people on helping people on Facebook and creating your own group. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so that was not ever part of the plan. It's just that I started an Instagram page, and I noticed that some of the people that were, engaging with my posts and everything, they were moms in different parts of the world that had children with ADHD. And I mean, I was never like intentionally creating content towards children with ADHD. I think just naturally because of my special ed background, it went in that direction. So, just last week I was asking them, what do you think if I created some sort of support group for moms? And that's kind of how it started. And I just, I let them know I'm a special educator. I have a background in managing behavior and writing IEPs. So I feel like I could maybe offer a different perspective and they might get somewhere else.
Sure. And I know that your whole goal is really keeping it on a positive note versus the negatives and that kind of stuff that can sometimes hinder some of those groups from really getting the support that they want. And I appreciate that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I do.
That is so cool.
Focus on the negatives because I think parents and even the children, they get a lot of negative feedback about the way their child behaves, or that, one of the moms said today, the child asked her, "What's wrong with me?" So I would never want a child to feel that way. So, I mean, I just try to focus on like, okay, so maybe this is a limitation for the child, but what are some strengths that child brings to the table that people would maybe overlook?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's so many of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is just one thing that is hindering their progress at the moment. It may not even hinder them for the rest of their life, right?
Exactly.
Oh, very cool. It is amazing how there's so many different things that can really help when it comes to ADHD. I mean, really taking a look at even just like the health side of it, right? And what are we putting inside of our bodies and really make a difference with that versus just going towards medicine as our first step, right?
We had a conversation about that in the group today. Like I posted a question, how does diet affect your child's behavior? And we were just going back and forth, like different people's decisions on diet, how it affects their kids. And it's really fun because there's a lot of interesting discussions that have happened. And it's only been like a week or less than a week.
Well, that's awesome. That's so cool. So how many people are part of your Facebook group right now?
I think we have 21 or 22.
Nice. So. Nice. That's awesome. And so if somebody wanted to join that Facebook group for parents that have children with ADHD, how could they find that group?
So I have to remember the name of it, but it's basically like support for moms of children with ADHD.
Perfect. So if they type something like that on in there, they'll be able to find that group in there. Awesome. So anybody who's watching this and you've got a child who has ADHD, you definitely want to go and join that group because it does have a positive twist and it really focuses on solutions versus focusing on the problem.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now you did start off with some in-person tutoring and
I did.
And doing kind of that. And you started learning some of the strategies slowly on how to really make it online tutoring. So you've gotten to experience both sides of the world with the online tutoring and the in-person tutoring. Which do you particularly like better?
So I like the online tutoring by far better. Initially, I wasn't really sure about it. I think I was hesitant, just like a lot of the parents are. But then I just decided, why don't I just start pushing for this? And I started posting on social media about how I online tutor, and I started making videos about it. And through that experience, I became more comfortable with it as well. So, and just like not having to drive to people's homes and meet other places, like it just makes the whole process so much easier because I just, like my office is right here.
Yep. You wake up, you go down to your computer, and there you go. Boom.
Exactly.
And same thing for the child as well. Right. Which is really what this is all about anyways. It's not about the convenience for us. I mean, yes, that makes it really nice, but a lot of kids these days, they're going so many places, right? I mean, they've got, sports and church and, after school activities and they're booked. They are just booked solid. So to have to go one more place is really inconvenient for a lot of these kids, and it makes it so much easier for them. Right. Have you noticed with your students that they even have they feel a little bit more comfortable online than they do in person?
I I think so. I know for one of the students, she kind of like, if we would meet in a public place, I think she was very aware of what was going on around her to a point where I think it could be distracting, you know, thinking like, oh, is that person does she go to my school? Like, is she judging me? Like that. Whereas if we're just, you know, doing the tutoring online, you're not distracted by other things going on in the environment.
Yeah, totally. I've just noticed the same exact thing with my students too. They just have this level of comfort online. Right. It's they're digital natives, right? So this is they're very used to this format. They already do, you know, FaceTime with their friends and Skype and all of that. And this is just, you know, doing their work this way. They have they can build a stronger relationship with you because they don't feel like they're being judged as much.
Right. Absolutely. That's so true. And I think one of the biggest aspects was of moving my in-person clients to online is that 2 of them actually had online homework and they still do. So it's just way better and more effective to do it online because they can just share their screen with me. And we have like a little whiteboard open on Zoom video calls and write directly on their homework, show work directly on their homework. And it's way, way more effective than me sitting next to them and like kind of like peeking over their computer, trying to figure out what's going on. It's so much easier this way. And I think it works better for them too.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. It does. And I mean, you have everything at the tip of your fingers, right?
Exactly. Right.
I mean, and I have 2 computers. So I'm like constantly like over here, like finding the next resource that I need while we're like doing like another, I'll have them reading something and I'll be like, ooh, you know what? I need a tool for this. I'll be over here and I'll like look for the tool and then I bring it on in when it's time. It's unbelievable how quick things happen, you know?
Yeah. And I did something we talked about in our group chat last week. I started trying to incorporate more Khan Academy and more interactive tools. So it's not just me, you know, initiating the teaching. And I found that some of my students are very receptive to that. If I play, you know, a few minutes of a Khan Academy video, I noticed with one student, she was engaged the whole time because I could see her, you know, I see a clip of her and I see that she's looking right at the screen, watching everything that's happening. And if I pause it and ask her a question, like she is so engaged. So,
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many great resources and tools like that we can just like bring on into our instruction that enhance it at the end of the day. So awesome. So how have you been going about being able to find your clients for your business?
So this was interesting. My first online client was actually referred to me from another tutor in the online tutor group. So I, you know, built a relationship with her over time, and I actually scheduled like a consulting session with her. And then as we built our relationship, she was starting to refer clients to me. So that's how I got my first online tutoring client. And then other than that, pretty much everything has been through care.com. I just post on there, which I know it's not like a very popular resource for tutors, but it's been the most effective ways for me to get clients. So,
well, there you go. Awesome. So and in the meantime, you've also been building that online presence. I see you on Instagram all of the time, and you've got your blog and you're creating the YouTube videos. So you're creating that online presence. You're finding some of those like those quick students that you can find like care.com, Thumbtack. Those are some great resources and tools to be able to use. I know lots of people ask us if you're watching this from another country. Care.com is just in the US. It was officially meant to be like to find like someone to care for your child or for an older person, like elderly people. And it kind of just grew from there to be service oriented. So I often have that question asked in the Ultimate Support group. Is that in my country? Oh, I don't know. There could be something like that in your country. I don't know, but it's not care.com, right? That's just for the US. But and Thumbtack, I think, is just the US as well. So those are 2 great tools, but other countries have other tools that are just as effective. So you definitely want to check that out. Awesome. So what would be your advice to someone who is just getting started with their online tutoring business?
I think just focus on one thing at a time because there's just so many. It's like, well, do I start a YouTube channel? Do I start writing blog posts? Do I create a website? There's so many different directions you can go in. And if you try to do everything at once, it can be really overwhelming. So just think like, okay, this week I'm going to try and work on the FAQ page of my website. Next week, I'm going to think about pricing. So it's just one small step at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you because, and I think too, getting focused on that one area that you want to tutor because that really allows you to be able to market and hone into people that are going to be interested in your services so much more than if you just say, I can teach 5 or 10 different things.
Yeah, I know. Because I watched so many of your videos and you talk about that, like the people that are like, oh, I could teach this subject and these ages. And I was like that too, because I thought the wider range of things that I could teach, the more likely I'd be able to get clients. But I didn't realize that actually narrowing in on one specific type of client would actually be more beneficial to them and me, because I could gain expertise in that area and they would have an expert in that area. So
exactly. So it's a win-win for everybody,
right?
When it comes to that. And Atul, he just said congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
I'm trying. Yeah, there we go. Atul. Hey, Atul's in the house. Yes. So we do have Sonia George here getting her Tutorpreneur Hero Award. And Atul is also one of our Tutorpreneur heroes as well. So that's from one Tutorpreneur hero to another. I so love it. So much fun. I love this community, and it's so much fun to be able to hang out with you guys all the time. What has your experience been like in the Insider Secrets Club?
I think it's been great because at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. And then I realized that there's so many benefits to being in the group, and just, you know, every week, even if I don't participate in every question and answer session or anything like that, sometimes there'll be a situation where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need help with this. And then I can just join in on a Q&A and ask my question and then get all this support. So it's just like there when I need it. It's not like I have to use it all the time, or just to know like, oh, there's this conference coming up and I don't even have to worry about signing up because I don't even have to participate in the live conference. I can just watch it, you know, at my convenience. So it's honestly, I think I told you this, like the day I got it, you know, it was already like, this is totally worth it. I've already gotten so much from it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's the whole point. You know, in the beginning, people look at the initial price and they're like, oh my gosh, $197. But what they don't realize is that is for the entire year, you know, and entire year of support with other experts in your industry. I mean, where else are you going to get that kind of support, right? Where you get every single live conference, you get weekly calls that you can come on into. You have a chat that you can go into Facebook and ask a question at any point in time, and somebody from around the world will answer your question probably within seconds.
Actually, part of it is like,
go ahead.
You go into this and you're like, oh, is this real? Is this really going to be helpful? Is it just some other thing that someone's trying to sell to me? But then the fact that you offer so much for free, like you have this entire free Facebook group where everybody can get their questions answered. You can join a conference just for $1. Like there's so many ways where someone could get information without having to like put a ton of money forward right away. And then you're able to establish that trust and be like, okay, so Joanne really means what she's saying. Like she actually wants to help people, and this is like, she knows what she's talking about. She's not just this person that's like, oh yeah, online tutoring, like, you know. Like you have so much wisdom and valuable resources for people that, you know, can help someone really get started pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just look at you. I mean, January you contacted me and you already got, you know, 4 online clients. That's amazing. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty incredible. And, you know, we have other people like Terry Grigsby, who, I don't know, she's in the 20s somewhere. And, you know, same thing. She really got serious in January from being down to like 3 students to like being well over like 20 students now. Right. Yeah, this is legit, right? Like this is legit. which is awesome. Well, thank you so much for just spending a few minutes of our time. We've got other people saying congratulations. Maria Johnson's in the house. She said congratulations. So congrats. Ooh, you definitely earned it, and we love having you as part of our community. It wouldn't be the same without you. You add so much value. I really love how you connect with other tutors to really be able to build your business. And you talked about how that was pivotal to getting your very first client was through making those connections with other tutors. And it really is. I mean, if you think about it, tutors have access to students that struggle, and kids that struggle in one area, they often struggle in many other areas, as I say all the time. So, the more you can, get yourself known in a community like this, the better it is. So you have definitely done that. You've helped so many people inside of the group. So thank you so much for the contributions that you have made. And, again, this is why you are getting the Tutorpreneur Hero Award of 2018. Woo! Thank you. Congratulations. Oh, we got Hyatt just said congratulations as well. Lots more people.
He's one of the most of my group. So.
Oh, yay. That's awesome. Well, welcome. Yes, this girl is awesome. I mean, if you are looking for support with, the ADHD and, kids struggling in that area, this is the girl to go to. She's your girl. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome. And Sonia has agreed to speak at our very next conference.
Yay!
So we're super excited about that as well. Now, that's going to be next month. We do have a conference this month, next week, which is all about creating credible content and being able to get found by creating that content online. And it's so cool, you guys, to be able to just go into your inbox and get another request for somebody who would like to hire you for your services. And that's what I would like to teach you guys is how you can be able to really get that happen for yourself. So definitely join us next week for that conference. And it was wonderful getting to hang out with you and connect. And thanks for sharing your wisdom with us, Sonia.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this award. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are welcome. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.